Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Franciosa coming back to you to talk a little bit more about comparing and contrasting a text. We read the story called For Pete's Sake. That was on page 8 and 9. So let's take a look on page 8 and 9. And we could see the story For Pete's Sake. We read the story last week, the fiction text that talks about the alligator who is feeling a little embarrassed because he is not the same as his flamingo friends. But today we're going to be reading about alligators, and this is actually a nonfiction text. It is a science article that is nonfiction. This article gives information about alligators. That means the information is real, it is true, it is fact. So I want for you to listen to this article. It's only a couple of pages long. And I want for you to think about how this article compares to the story that we read last week of For Pete's Sake. All right. Remember, good readers are good thinkers. So you want to make sure you're thinking while you're listening. Alligators by Julie Larson. An alligator home. Many alligators live in the Florida Everglades. The Everglades has many rivers and islands. Look at all those rivers and islands in the Everglades. And the Everglades are in Florida, and it's in the very south of Florida. How do alligators' bodies help them live in the Everglades? Let's find out. Alligator bodies. Alligators have short legs. They can hide in tall grass. They can also hide under the water. Sometimes you can only see their eyes. Can you see the alligator? There he is. Alligator tails. Alligator tails can be more than 5 feet long. This is probably taller than you. Tails help alligators swim and move through the mud. Tails help alligators leap up to catch food. Alligators can leap 5 feet into the air. Wow, that's really high. Now that we've read this story, we're going to compare the genres. How are For Pete's Sake and alligators different? Well, let's go back and look. I go back to my book For Pete's Sake. What is one thing that we know about For Pete's Sake? You're right. It's an animal fantasy. Fantasy is fake, it is false, it is fiction. So if I look at my story of alligators, this is real, true, and factual. It's giving us information. So that is one way that they are different. What else is different? Oh, I think someone's got a good idea. In our story of For Pete's Sake, there are flamingos in the story. Are there flamingos in our story of alligators? No, certainly not. And what's one more thing that we could say is different about these two stories? Oh, I think someone's got it. In this story of For Pete's Sake, these animals are talking to each other. When we look in the story of alligators, there is no dialogue between characters. We're just learning facts about alligators. When you're reading, you want to think about the books that you've read and how they connect. Are they the same? Are they different? Are they fiction? Are they nonfiction? Remember, good readers are good thinkers.